Hello, hello, welcome. How are you? How are you doing? I'm just going to look at my other screen, make sure we are live and you can hear me. So, welcome to our weekly talk. I'm excited to be with you, excited to spend some time with you. If you're here, comment yes. And let's see. I don't see me yet, so let's just make sure we are here. And close some of these things out. Welcome, welcome. Can you hear me? Here we are. Okay. All right. I know. For whatever reason on this screen through the Facebook app, it doesn't let me see comments or to see comments or anything. So I think if I go like this, it will let me. So first, I want to welcome you in. I know I am a little bit late today. Honestly, I was just caught up in doing some other work and didn't see what time it was. My alarm didn't remind me. So apologizing for being a little late, and here we are. So we are jumping into the conversation of why do you wake up feeling exhausted even before the day starts? If that's you, drop me in the chat and let me know. Because here's the thing. There are some things sleep cannot fix. And if you have some of the challenges that I'm about to speak with, it affects sleep as well. So it's like a double-edged sword. So when you're feeling exhausted, like if you find that was one of the key words I used to say all the time. When I work with my clients inside my Fear to Freedom program, it's always like, start to pay attention to the phrases you say. And I would say things like, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. That was a big one for me. I'm frustrated, I'm frustrated, I'm frustrated. So what's fascinating about that, when you claim that story, whatever your story is, drop it in the chat here if you're with me. And when you claim that story, it becomes a compounded energy because it just keeps building up and building up and building up. And you take on the energy from the first time that you say it. So if you say, I'm frustrated or I'm overwhelmed, then you actually take on the energy and all the other times that you said it, and it kind of just backs it all up so that your body remembers it and begins to declare it. I'm going to close out some more apps, apparently. All right, here we go. And I'm frozen. Am I back? Okay, there I am. I'm just closing out some more apps so that I can see, so it doesn't freeze. So we first want to look at, tune into what are the words you're saying, because they have energy, and energy is emotions, and emotions live in the body. And when you don't process emotions, then they stay there. And that can actually hinder your sleep and you wake up exhausted. That's one thing, right? But the other thing that can happen is your mind never turns off, right? There's always things to do. There's always more to get done. There's always things that have to happen. There's always people that need you. There's always these things. And so your energy is stuck in that energy or the energy behind you, like all the things that you didn't do yesterday, all the things that you got like didn't complete and they have to be done. That can be hindering you. But what I'd like to just dive into today is to share with you that most likely the number one reason, now this is without me analyzing your energy or having a conversation with you, just patterns that I've seen over decades and decades, not decades and decades, decades of working with hundreds and hundreds of women, right? So what happens is you wake up exhausted, not from what you have to do. It comes from all these open loops in your brain and in your body. Unprocessed, indecisive action. So, what does that look like? That looks like you had a conversation with somebody, you're replaying the conversation in your mind, and now that's a loop of like, oh, I should have did something differently. But not only is it replaying in your mind, your body is replaying it in the body. So now we have the thoughts that are building up, and now we have the energy that is building up from this. And then you finally just push it aside enough and you go on to the next thing. And now you have this energy still here, but now we go on to the next parts of our day, and something happens and you pretend it didn't, or you're just like, it's okay, I'll be okay. You talk yourself out of it. You don't deal with it. You don't process it. It's kind of like you're sweeping it under the bed or under the rug, right? And now you have energy and thoughts, stacked on energy and thoughts. And just think that they start, this will give you a visual, they start at the bottom, right, your feet, and they start coming up, up, up. And so by the end of the day, it's like you go to bed with all of these thoughts and energy that you pushed under the rug and you stuffed down. Maybe you stuffed them down with like distraction, or stuff them down with staying busy, or stuff them down with food or alcohol or other people's problem, but you stuff them down and you didn't deal with them, and now they're there. So now you're holding all of this energy, and you wake up tomorrow morning and you go around your day and you start doing your day, and again, this is stacking on you and stacking on you and stacking on you and stacking on you. So you're not exhausted from your normal everyday things. You're exhausted from all the unprocessed emotions and thoughts. Those are open energies. They're there, and they are. It's kind of like energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So we gotta release it and let that energy out, so new energy can come in. That's why you have an explosion, because you can't handle any more. You can't handle any more. So that's one area. The second area is indecision. I was just talking with the girls inside my Pure Freedom program on Monday night about energy leakage. And what does that mean? And that means, like, you are the commander of your energy. You are the driver of your life, not the circumstances, not the things you've been through, but by your choice, by your decision, by your identity, by what you are choosing to focus on. And so we were looking at where is the leakage in our energy. And without going into that whole lesson, I want to give you a simple way to look at this, because this creates exhaustion. It's indecision, meaning, I'll give you a personal example from today. I decided today was going to be a no sugar added day. I wasn't going to eat anything that had added sugar in my diet today. Now, mind you, I love to have a cup of tea in the afternoon, and I usually put a little creamer in it on the weekends. Like, that's my treat on the weekends. But it's been slipping because I had it yesterday and I had it Friday. So today I was like, I'm done. That's not happening. I'm not going to do it. Right? That was my decision. I made that last night when I went to bed. And then this morning I was getting ready, or this afternoon I was getting ready to make my coffee. And now I started to play that loop. Oh, it's just a little bit, right? I can have it. It's just a little bit. I won't have anything else. And that loop was stealing my energy. It was creating that sensation of overwhelmed because it was stealing my energy. Those thoughts, those things were compounding and looping. And I was like, stop that. Stop that right now. That is not what you're doing. And then I started to tell my energy, focus on the things that I have committed to. So I'm reclaiming my energy. Now I'm not going to be exhausted or overwhelmed or stuck in indecision because I made the decision and I've asked my energy to support me. So if you're looking to have some of your energy support you, is asking your energy to guide you in what you want. Now we cannot bypass unprocessed emotions. I would say you can't put a bunch of crap on a pile of ice cream and expect the ice cream to taste good, because it isn't. Because there's a bunch of crap underneath it, right? So we want to make sure we gotta clear out those emotions. And some of the ways, I'll give you a couple ways to clear out emotions, because without this tool, I remember going to a lot of classes back in the day, and they would say process your emotions, and I'd be like, okay, how do you do that? First of all, how do you even know what you're feeling? And second of all, how do you process? Drop process if you want to know how, and drop feelings if you're like, I don't even know what I'm feeling, because I lived there, and many of the clients that I served have lived there. And so one of the ways is to really just take a pause in your day and just ask yourself, what am I really feeling? And I know most of you won't do this because, one, you'll be like, oh, it can't be that easy. But two, you're so uncomfortable that you're afraid to pause. And this is where you get to get in touch with, why do you want to feel better? And is that why big enough to get over the fear of pausing, of slowing down, of giving yourself a minute? Literally, it could take a minute to figure this out. So you just pause, maybe place your hands on your heart, deep breath in, deep breath out, and just ask, what am I really feeling? And I hear relieved, purposeful, driven. That's what I'm feeling for myself right now. What are you feeling? And there's no right or wrong. I've done this exercise where I'm feeling exhausted, overwhelmed. When I hear those words, though, I just say, hey, body, go deeper. And then I'll hear like hurt or disappointment or scared or something deeper, right? If we keep focusing on the surface levels, like anger, overwhelmed, frustration, stress, yeah, we get to release that. But you can ask your body to go deeper, because when you go deeper, that stuff gets released automatically. So because mine were positive, this is what you would do, because now we want to enhance that energy. We want to just bring that energy up. So I would just feel it. And I would just ask my body to continue to expand the energy of what I was feeling, and expand. And then I would just say, okay, body, lock this in for the day. And there you go. That's what I'm locked into. That's where I'm at. Now, if it's a feeling that I don't desire to lock in, and it's stuff that I want to release, I will ask my body, how do you want to release this? And I'm going to give you some standard ways. Now, hear the word standard or general, because everybody's body is different, and you have the answers to how your body wants to move through whatever you're holding on to. But I give you this. I'll give you some generalizations, but here's a framework per se. It's to move energy through. Energy needs movement and sound. Movement and sound. So whatever you want to do, that creates movement and sound. So Inside my Fear to Freedom program, I have women pick a song and move their body to the song. I have women drum. I have women chant. I have women just breathe it out loudly and moving their body, right? But you could do like what I call an emotional dump, where you go outside and you just let it all out, or you ask a friend to hold space for you and just let it out. You can do it in a journal, but to me, there has to be sound to it because that gives the energy movement, right? So once you process it and release it, I mean, just like think of something like exhaustion, overwhelm, just overwhelm, exhaustion, body. Let's move overwhelm, exhaustion out and just let your body move it out. Shake it out, breathe it out. Yeah, let it all out, let it all out. And literally, just doing something like that, what did you feel? So just in that 30 seconds, I feel space opening up. I feel my body opening up. I feel more expanded, more like free. And if you did that, you will. If you didn't, that means you weren't playing full out. You were just half a hashtag it. So you want to process, because if you don't, these emotions will stack and stack and stack and stack, and then you'll yell at a loved one, or you'll fight with the people you care about most, or you will eat the bowl of ice cream when you really don't want the bowl of ice cream, or you'll drink the bottle of wine when you don't want the bottle of wine, or you continue to say yes when you really don't want to say yes because you're trying to feel better. Drop the word feel better if this is landing for you. So the reason you're exhausted before you get out of bed is what? Unprocessed emotions and indecisions, open loops, energy that's not complete, and thoughts that are keep opening and opening. And I say the shoulds, the whys, the coulds, the woulds, and you stay stuck in that. So make a decision, have your energy support me in this decision, mind, tell me thoughts in alignment with this decision, and then you use those practices to stay in what you want, in the field, in the energy of what you want, and then process. Movement sounds, so just to give you some ways that I do that, I'll say something like, I'll dance, I'll do some deep breathing with some big sighs. Sometimes I'll get out my sound bowls and I use my sound bowls. I see my trampoline, I'll jump on my trampoline. But it's with intention to release. So it's not just a random act of movement. It's with intention to release whatever's coming up. Sometimes I draw, sometimes I write, sometimes I phone a friend. All of these are great things. I mean, in the past, I used to eat, I used to drink, I used to deal with everybody's problems, so I was the go-to. And all of that kept me unhappy, overweight, overwhelmed, frustrated, and angry. So, all right. Let me know your takeaway. Drop your takeaway from what it is that what you heard today. And if this is landing for you, I have a special opportunity right now. I'm working with I have two spots open for some deeper work. So if you are looking to do some deeper work in this area and want support, drop yes, me, and I'll reach out to you. I only have 2 spots available for this, but I will keep you posted. All right, drop it down, share your takeaways. I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.